Good morning. It's Tuesday, January 13th, 2025, and today I'm doubling again because opaque and balance just seem to go together for me anyway. And so let's find out how I figured out how to express this prompt. This prompt, or the way I express it, is based on this paper pack front that I kept, and it just had strips of samples. And a couple years ago, I imitated that by just using book page and white strips. And I just tore them, pasted them up, and made a master sheet out of it. So we're going to revisit that today with some opaque things and some not so opaque things. According to the definition, opaque means that light cannot penetrate it. And so I pulled out black cardstock scrap as my representation of totally opaque material. And I've also pulled out a different stamp pad of opaque pigmented white. We'll see if that's any better than the last time I tried it. And what I'm showing you here is black to craft paper to a printed scrap to a book page. And then we start getting translucent all the way to transparent on the other edge. Now, this stamp set is brand new, and I'm risking disaster here by using my white pigment again. And it's got a little stack of books, and it says something like, read books, drink coffee, be happy, or something like that. And so it goes down, the opaque white does, on the opaque black and spans to my craft paper. Something, if you're new to stamping or you're not satisfied with your results, you can see that I am not pushing that down hard. I'm just holding it in place so it doesn't move and smear. The trick to stamping, no matter what kind of ink you're using, is to give it a chance to hit the paper and soak in a little bit. So instead of smashing it down and risking smudging it, I just let it sit there while I got my other stamp, which is a little coffee cup and a little swirl of steam to counterbalance on the right side of the page. We pick it up and it's not printed fully. It's not terrible, but I will live with it and not be upset about it. If you're new here and you've never been to my channel, this is primarily a DIY channel, and we do everything from paper craft to soap making to fermented apple cider vinegar, fire cider. I even did a soap making series. Did I just say that? Maybe I did. Anyway, we're in the middle of Junk Journal January, and this is always a fun challenge to get paper crafters and interested people making something every day based on prompts or not. There are no rules. And sort of get your creative juices going to combat January slump or what have you. I'm having a good time doing this year. I'll just let you in on a little inside baseball. I am pushing through because last year I had this fabulous idea in my head of all the things I wanted to try for Junk Journal January 2024. And right about this time last year, I just stopped. So if you're old here, you've heard this story before, and you know that I never finished that journal. And new people might be wondering, well, why didn't you finish that journal? Why didn't you just pick it up and, and all I can say to you is new year, fresh start. So this is my tatty little journal for Junk Journal, January 2025. And there are 30 artists besides Meg Journals, who is our hostess, who are demonstrating the concepts behind each one of these prompts. Everybody does these things differently, and there are, oh gosh, I don't even know how many other people like me just playing along and interpreting the prompts our own way. So, again, no rules. So it's not too late to jump in. Just, you know, look up how to make a junk journal cover and start where you start. First day, 10th day, or today. Does not matter at all. And we'd be happy to see what you're creating as well. I have found a little corner, a little pocket of people who are regular viewers of Shannon Green's channel, and we are just having a whale of a time. Shannon is constantly chuckling and cracking jokes, and if I get frustrated with something I'm working on, like that opaque white pigmented ink, I can take a break, watch Shannon's interpretation of whatever day we're on, and get a good laugh. And that sets me back to enjoying what I'm doing. If you're old here, you might have noticed that this episode came out at 4 o'clock in the morning, my regular posting schedule, when I'm posting on schedule. I gave the first week pride of place to each one of the demonstrators who are scheduled to post at 12 noon GMT, which is 5 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time in the United States. And I got kind of frustrated with that. I wanted to be gracious to them and let their videos take pride of place since they are volunteer demonstrators. But I found that trying to schedule my videos for after 12 noon or 7 a.m. Eastern time in the United States was too frustrating for me because I would have to stop whatever I was doing. So apologies to the ladies. I am publishing at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. And our demonstrator today is Casey Turner, and you can find her at Casey with a C Turner on YouTube. On to our final shot. Here is the page. Now, it doesn't translate as well on camera as it does in person. The very right edge of our flourishy little business where the coffee cup is actually embossed tracing paper, and you really can't see it on screen at all. However, it does show up in person if you have it in the right light. So we've gone from opaque, which is black scrap cardstock, all the way to translucent and finally transparent on the fold line where that paper tape was, because as I said, when we constructed this accordion fold, paper tape does not stand up well to constant opening and closing and the torque that the pages put on that spine. So totally transparent Scotch tape. Gotta love it. And you'll also notice that hanging from a paper clip is a dangle, and that is from a collection of things I did a couple of years ago and never used, and I need to start using what I made because this is meant to be a scrap buster. So in order to console myself or distract myself from smeared ink, I use that little dangle hanging off a paper clip. I really wanted to put down one of my coffee cup stickers, but I cannot find those either. But good news, guess what I found? My embossing powder. So we may repeat prompt number 22 Again, another prompt from our list. So, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it gave you some ideas if you're still thinking about what you want to do. By all means, steal anything or reinterpret anything you see me do in January Junk Journal playlist. God bless you. I hope to see what you're doing. I'll see you real soon.